Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode.
Welcome.
Next week, just as a quick update before we dive in, next week will be Amanda's follow-up MRI.
Woo!
Every 2 months. So if you're sending prayers, if you're sending love, you're sending good energy, put it all on November 15th. About what time is it? It's
9 a.m.
9 a.m., 8 a.m.,
Yes.
9 a.m. Amanda will be getting her and the results of that right after that. So we will be sure to update you later that day. And we are holding a space. Our intention is for another clean scan and a perfectly clear MRI.
Mm-hmm.
That being said,
Okay.
what we want to talk about today is...
Oh, God. That success leaves clues.
Yes.
Yay.
And why did you want to talk about that topic today?
Because I feel like it's something that I've kind of low-key have done this whole time.
Okay, well, tell us about it.
Let me explain?
Yes, explain it and I'll fill in.
Okay, yay. So the whole idea, at least for me, with success leaves clues is I very early on my diagnosis, I have a friend who has this. She's 6 years in. We've talked about her quite some time. Her name's Kelly. She's like, this is what I did. And she told me everything that she did. And I pretty much mirrored almost everything that she did. I have a friend named Amber who she's 10 years in. And I, asked if she would talk to me and let me know what she's doing. And I have found some people in the GBM world that I really identify with. There's somebody who just climbed Kilimanjaro. And then there is also this individual who he is running 6 races, 6 marathons to celebrate his 5-year of being diagnosed with glioblastoma. And the nice thing about these people that I'm either talking to or trying to connect with is it's not, every single one of them is not a doom and gloom type of a person. It's like, hey, this is what I did and I'm doing very well. And those are the type of people that I want to talk to, that I want to interact with. I have had a phone call with somebody, 3 weeks in a row, of people who completely refused treatment, people who went to a place in Germany that I really considered. And I don't know, it's been really, it's awesome to hear from people who are doing glioblastoma well.
There's that saying, success leaves clues, is such a, in my opinion, such an inspired saying, because to me what it implies is that if somebody has achieved the result we want to achieve, that there's a blueprint out there to replicate it. If we want to lose weight, what are the people who are successful at losing weight? If we want to build muscle, if we want to grow our business, if we want to become a better speaker, if we want to become a better husband, wife, partner, whatever that is, there's a model, a blueprint out there. And the same is true for a really scary diagnosis like Amanda had. Part of our declaration in the early days of it, God, Minnie, our cat loves to go to the bathroom right when we're recording, so hopefully it doesn't carry over too much, but he likes to be dramatic when he does it. So I'll keep talking with the presumption that he isn't. But part of our early declaration of we accept the diagnosis, we don't accept the prognosis, was very intentional in that we did not want to put Amanda in a box that limited her options or her outcome to whatever statistic that some doctor who knew nothing about her, who knew nothing about us, was saying based off of statistical data. We can respect statistics, we can respect those things out there, but we also really celebrate the fact that there are people out there like Amber, like Kelly, like many others that we've encountered who are living years, even decades beyond this diagnosis. So when a doctor tells you, we don't know what causes it and we don't know why, that can be scary, but it also can be quite liberating in the sense of there's a lot of gray area that we can really, the cat, I wish you could see it. He's trying to bury his doo-doo.
No, it was pee.
Whatever it was, he's trying to bury it, and he gets his legs crisscrossed, and so he stumbles awkwardly out of the litter box. And
He's old, Jess. He's old. He's an old
talking
man.
about success leaving clues. Anyways, when there is a diagnosis like that out there, there's also this whole other thing of when people say, well, we don't know what causes it, but we also don't know why. Some people are able to. It's scary, but it can also be liberating in the sense of there's a lot of gray area to explore. That are the outliers. What are they doing? So what we started to find really quickly was, number one, they had a mindset of it. For them, it was they were not going to accept a diagnosis. They were not going to accept a prognosis. They were not going to put themselves in a box. They were going to choose to focus on living. They were going to choose to focus on healing. Number two, movement for many of them really seemed to be a key component of medicine. Whether it was a yoga practice, whether it was a exercise routine. Amanda just mentioned 2 people, one climbed Kilimanjaro, one's doing these endurance events. Number 3, nutrition. Many of the people we talked to early on with this through the medical thing were saying, well, there doesn't seem like there's a lot to indicate that, nutrition has any sort of bearing on this, blah, 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 blah. In fact, some of the people were recommending and advocating for Amanda when she's going through chemo, just eat whatever. If it means white bread and cookies, get the calories in. But then when you start to dive into different theories on cancer, they talk about metabolic theory, they talk about inflammatory thing, and then you hear people who have been successful with this and achieving the results that we're after with Amanda. They are becoming masterful at nutrition. They have made dramatic nutritional changes, and whether that is a actual attributable thing to the nutrition or the belief with the nutrition, what does it matter? They're achieving the results that we're after. Mm-hmm. And there's science out there to support both the nutrition, the efficacy of the nutrition, and the belief portion of it too. So making a shift to organic foods, nothing processed, all inflammatories removed, dairy's out, anything that can cause an inflammatory response is out, anything that can be anti-inflammatory is in. Mostly a keto-esque diet where it's higher in fat and very low in carbohydrates. Your carbohydrate sources are all going to be vegetables, organic vegetables, highly nutritious, ones that have been shown, that many of them that are shown to have anti-cancer properties. Working on a mindfulness practice, a meditation practice. We just spent an hour diving into some of Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, where what I appreciate about him is he's actually going through and tracking what happens with people and as they go into these meditative states and how it actually changes genetic expression within people. So somebody from Amanda who's always been either obsessive over what had happened in the past or worried about the future, for her to just be grounded in the present moment, it's been transformational. We were just talking about this before this recording. You have some good supplementation. I think you've got a good base. Obviously, always room for improvement, adding a few things in there. Water sources, changing it up. Lots of good environmental changes, looking at removing some of her past emotional trauma or drama that she's carried around for a long time. That's mending relationships with friends, family, how she interacts with people, how she perceives people. There's certain people in her life that prior to this, that even to mention their name, she would tense up, and then she'd start to feel a certain way based off of how she perceived that person based off of something that happened in the past. Versus now, you mention that name or anything like that, and she just smiles, and there's a warmth to her because she just allows herself to connect and receive that place of love from them. So all those things are things that we're doing now, because those are all things that we've seen that people who have been successful with this are doing. And we'll keep exploring more of those things and sharing them with you as we go. But, it's something that I would say we're almost 6 months into this at this recording, and we've laughed more than we've cried. We've loved more than we've been in fear. We've had a lot more joy than of it. And a lot of that is, I think, attributable to these changes we've made. Mm-hmm. You have anything to say about any of that?
It's all true.
We're not trying to make any sort of medical claims with this either, and nor are we even beginning to consider ourselves as experts. We just want to share what we're doing, what we're learning as we go, as we're all kind of being a guinea pig in this whole science experiment called Amanda's life. we want to be sure to share just transparently with you what has been helpful to us. And one last thought with this, with the success leaving clues. When she finishes talking to these people who she's mentioning, who are doing things in the world, who are years ahead, we're calling them the trailblazers of this. Amanda's empowered, and I think being empowered is a really incredible place to be, just in general life, to feel empowered, to feel like you have utility over your life, and even more so when you've been given a crummy diagnosis. So to walk away, to be able to feel empowered, and that is a much different space than a lot of times I see her feel when she leaves some of her doctor's appointments, and they're not necessarily putting that same way. So again, if the time is going to pass no matter what, who knows? The meteor comet could come down in a day and we could all be gone. I think it's a much more uplifting and optimistic and healthy way to live life, walking through your day and feeling empowered, than the opposite.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Agree.
Cool. All right, everybody, we'll wrap this up. Remember, November 15th, and that's where we're next big date on the calendar. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.